Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gondorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another custom scenario. This one was actually sent to me by Alisan, who is commanding the army of Maroon down here. I believe this was actually a scenario that was made by Alisan, so good job, kudos to him, because it looks really great. It looks very fun, quite cool. Anyway, this was actually made on the, took place on the Spawn of Sauron Discord, which if you guys did not know is actually a really cool Discord, where they pretty much I think they only focus on making and playing scenarios for Reforged, so I will definitely have the link to that down in the description below. Be sure to go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and go into the army composition, starting off with Alisan, who, as I said before, created this scenario and sent me the replay. So he's got 3 units of Loke Gamprim, 2 units of Flagrim in there with his Gamprim, 2 units of Runic Swiftblades. Back here he's got 1 unit of Clan Guard, 1 unit of Camul's Shadowbows, 2 units of Loke Sion Rim, one's here, the other one's further behind, 2 units of Loke Narim, 1 unit of Camul's Dragon Knights, 2 units of the Loke Innos Rim, so a lot of heavy cavalry here. The Innos Rim not nearly as good as the Camul's Dragon Knights, but they do have a decent charge and a lot of men in the unit. He's got 1 unit of the Camul's Chosen, 1 unit of Valkot Sapphire Bladesman. Oh, and by the way, the Camul's Dragon Knights is where his general is. And back here we've got the last of his army, which is 1 unit of Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen, 1 unit of Clan Crossbows, and then his 2nd unit of Loke Sion Rim. So a very fearsome army from Rune, and he's positioned nicely in this little canyon. I believe that I'm trying to remember. I think the name of the scenario was like Condish Valley, possibly. I could be wrong about that. So anyway, we'll go to one of his 2 allies, which the first is being deployed over here. Sorry about the trees. I had to lower the graphics. Well, yeah. I had to do some things with the graphics just because of how many troops are in this scenario. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, over here in the trees, we've got Goddess Minhin commanding the army of Khan. He's got some Variag bowmen, Variag warriors, 3 to 4 units of Nurag footmen. Very, very nice line infantry that Khan has to offer. I believe they actually have like 19-ish attack and like 40-something defense and their AP in addition to that, so definitely not to mess around with. He's also got some nomadic warriors. I don't know why the trees are disappearing at all, but I hope it doesn't bother too much. Anyway, he's got some more nomadic warriors, some more Variag warriors, 2 units of Brotherhood of the Axe. No, 1 unit of Brotherhood of the Axe, 1 unit of Brotherhood of the Sword, some Brotherhood of the Lance, Brotherhood of the Bow, and back here he's got some Nirniak Horse Archers, Windriders of Khand, and some Nirniak Cataphracts. So a lot of cavalry, which again should be expected whenever as Khand. And then their last ally is way over here, and it's not Harad. Surprisingly, it's actually Arnor, so they have teamed up with the Easterlings. And Arnor's been commanded by Arturos. He's got some Arnor Pikemen, Arnor Gate Guards, more Arnor Pikemen, some Dunedain Wardens, which are a spear and shield unit. Not super great, but still they should be able to get the job done as far as spearmen goes. Got some Dunedain Rangers, 3 units of Arnorian Heavy Archers, 1 to 2 units of Dismounted Arthedain Knights, some Dismounted Dunedain Knights, some Arthedain Men-at-Arms, some more Dismounted Dunedain Knights. And I believe he also may have some standard Armor Men-at-Arms, 1 catapult. And he might have some hidden Troll Slayers, but I don't actually know. Oh, he actually has 3 units of Dismounted Dunedain Knights. Dang, that's a lot of Dunedain Knights. Anyway, we'll now go to the 5, I guess you could say, attacking players. The first of which is over here, and that is Tundra's Fox commanding one of the 5 armies of Mortar. He's got 3 units of Orc Archers. No, actually, looks like only a couple units of Orc Archers, 1 unit of Orc Archers. Some standard Uruk Halberds, some Mornon Guard back here, some standard Uruks, and then back here he's got some more elite stuff, that being the Mornon Heavy Maulers and some Mortar Mornon Uruks, as well as some Sauron's Will, Temple Guard, Numenorean Shield Guard. Orc Maulers aren't very good, but still, you should keep them back so they don't get skirmished down instantly. And some Olag High to round off his force. Now behind him, we have got Bobo 16k, commanding, again, one of the armies of Mordor. He's got some 2 units of Mordor Mornon bows. Looks like he's got some Shadow Guard here behind the stakes. Some standard Uruks. Some Mordor Mornon Uruks mixed in with some Orc Raiders. 2 units of Mordor Mornon Maulers. 1 unit of Olag High, 1 unit of the Lesser Balrogs. So all these trolls and the Balrogs are going to cause a lot of trouble for the Easterlings and Arnorians. We've also got 2 units of Sauron's Will, 2 units of Numenorean Shield Guard, 1 unit of the Melkor's Chosen. I also forgot to mention that I think Arnor has 2 units of the Knights of Numenor, so those guys are going to be really hard for Mordor to take down, because they are so dang strong. He's also got 2 units of Orc Fodder. And then back here we've got the 3rd Mordor army, which is being commanded by Froggy. He's got some Orc Fodder, Mordor Mornon bows, Orc Archers, Orc Raiders, Uruks. Just pretty much, you pretty much know what to expect after seeing the previous two armies. They're gonna all the rest of the Mortar armies are gonna be pretty similar. He's also got some Temple Inquisitors there, some halberds, and students of Mountain Trolls, it looks like. And then over here we've got some more Mordor, Moron halberds, Moron guard, and some Sauron's will. And back here it looks like he has one unit. No, this is Master Blaster. This is another one of the Mortar players. He's got some Númenórean shield guard, mounted Númenórean shield guard. Sorry. He's got some Mordor, Moron maulers, Ologhai, Uruks, Orc maulers, Uruks. Just a lot of Orcs and Uruks, as can be expected whenever anyone plays as Mortar. He's also got some mounted Temple Inquisitors, some Melkor's Chosen, some Shield Guard, and some more Moron Guard. And then the final Mordor army is being commanded by Engspitz, who again has a very similar army, some Shield Guard, some Temple Guard, and Temple Inquisitors, so he looks to be one of the more elite armies. He's got some Mordor, Moron halberds, Mordor, Moron Uruks, Moron Guard, Ologhai, Mordor, Moron maulers, Uruks, Shadow Guard, Mordor, Moron bows, some Temple Inquisitors, and some Orc fodder. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and start this off. Oh, I do not want to have that on 2 times speed. Because there's so many troops, I may have to slow it down, like with the last battle, so it's not super laggy. It still will be rather laggy, but hopefully it'll be a little bit less if I do end up slowing it down. So we'll look over here at what's going on. Looks like Arnor is just marching forward to the aid of Rune. I don't know if Rune is actually planning to... Whoa. Yeah. I don't know if Rune is actually planning to just defend this area, or if they're going to actually try to march out and help out Khand. It does not look like they're going to try to help out Khand, but still, you never know. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a long and laggy one. You can see that Tundra's Fox is trying to prevent the Dragon Knights and Cavalry of Rune to get out from getting out and just being able to run around in the open field, probably trying to get them stuck in here in this canyon where they can't really do much, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to move up fast enough to do so, so Alysanne will be able to run his cavalry out here and hopefully get some nice turns off to help out Khand, who, while they are hidden in some of the trees, are going to have a really tough time of it because they don't have choke points like Rune and Arnor have. So he's going to have a tough time of it. It looks like the cavalry of Alysanne is just going to go straight in for it, just going to try to charge straight into these Moron Guard. And because Moron Guard aren't good, they're probably going to lose like the whole unit if Alysanne does decide to charge down, especially the one that's getting targeted by the Kimo's Dragon Knights. So we'll watch this charge as watch these poor Moron Guard just get absolutely murdered. Looks like the Easterlings are going to be the first to charge, followed closely by the General's unit of Alysanne, being the Kimo's Dragon Knights. Yeah, even in Shield Wall, these Moron Guard are going to stand no chance. They're a very cheap unit, very low tier, kind of like a fodder unit. Yeah, that... Oh boy. That's, that is not good. You can see just how much damage those Easterlings really did. Over here, the Dragon Knights will do more damage. You can see they, looks so far anyway, they killed 10 more off the charge. Not a whole lot more than the Easterling, but still, the difference is noticeable. But he's gonna have to run these guys out of here quickly if he does not want them to get overwhelmed, especially by the Ologhai, who are very good at taking out cavalry, especially heavy cavalry. It actually looks like these Easterling are about to get charged from behind by the Moron Guard, who being spearmen do have a bonus against cavalry. Looks like that one poor Dragon Knight is gonna get caught. Actually, he lost 3 Dragon Knights, surprisingly. Well, if that one dies. So that's definitely not very good. Easterling running away, but the second unit of Easterling and the Dragon Knights are going back for some more charges. Another Dragon Knight going down. So, while Alysanne is getting a lot of kills here, he is losing his Dragon Knights relatively quickly. Well, I guess not that much. He's only lost like 4 so far, but still. You definitely need to be careful when facing this many Orcs. You have to be careful of losing your high tier units like these Kimo's Dragon Knights and stuff right away. Also, it looks like the Orc archers, maybe some Shadow Guard, have been firing a little bit at the heavy cavalry, but because the heavy cavalry is very well armored, they're not going to take too many casualties from that. Trolls just trying to run around and stop the cavalry of Rune from doing too much damage. Ooh, those Kimo's Dragon Knights. Looks like they weren't able to get their lances. No, they were. So they're going to get a lot of kills on those Uruks, who, unlike the Moron Guard, do not have a bonus against spearmen, so they're going to have a tough time with it, facing that downhill charge from the Dragon Knights. Easterling charging against Númenórean Shield Guard is not a very wise thing to do. He's probably going to lose a lot of troops here, but still, there's not really a lot he can do. If he's not careful, he's pretty much just got to do anything he can to get as many kills with his cavalry as possible. So again, it's not a horrible idea. Looks like these Easterlings were trying to go after the trolls, but trolls are going to manage to take out a few of those and ask for them in return. In fact, I don't know if any trolls were taken out. Yeah, there's still 12 of them. I don't know how I feel about Alisson retreating his cavalry, because he's not going to have much use. They're not going to have much use out here in this canyon, where you can see Arnor is starting to form up behind him, probably to block off Engsfitz and Master Blaster, but still. If I were Alisson, I would probably want to keep my cavalry out here just to help out Khand, because they would be much better used out here. I mean, you might lose your general and stuff, but they would at least do more damage out here than they would stuck inside that little canyon or ravine. And so far, it does not look like much fighting has gone between Khand or anything. Goddess Nimhain is probably just trying to take advantage of the fact that he can just hide in these trees. It doesn't look like any of his units actually are hiding, but still. Because of all these trees, it's going to be rather difficult for the Mortar player to see exactly where he has set up all of his units. He may be... Goddess Nimhain might actually be using some of his horse archers around here, but it doesn't look like it actually, so... Bobo 16k has now moved up some of his units to support Tundra's Fox, and they're probably about to begin the major grind that is going to happen over here. It looks like, whoa, a lot of those Dragon Knights were taken out. This whole unit of Innos Rim actually shaken. So a lot of the heavy cavalry of Rune already taken out. Only 36 of the Dragon Knights left over. Not a bad idea to have the Loke Flagrim in front of the Gamprim, but he probably should retreat them a little bit further, because the shields of the Gamprim will definitely help out against the skirmish fire. Well, the shields of the Flagrim will help the Gamprim against the skirmish fire of Mordor. You can see the front line of Tundra's Fox moving forward, mostly consisting of Uruk halberds and Morin on guard, as well as some Uruks, but not far behind them you'll see some better stuff. Well, not that much better, but again, you don't want to waste all of your stuff on the first assault. Tundra's Fox going to be first into the fight, it looks like. You can actually see the Narim of Alisson already firing. He's also got his javelins up there, getting ready to throw their missiles at the higher tier units. Camille's Chosen sitting there, and it looks like Arnor is... I don't know, yeah, they're just setting up right here to make sure that the Mortar armies this way don't just push straight through and go right into the back of Rune and crush them from behind, so a very smart move there. Again, Knights of Numinos aren't going to be a huge help in these kind of situations, just the big canyon really. And you might be able to get off a few charges, but because it's just going to be really just a big old choke point fight for a long time, you're not going to get probably not going to get too many kills, but oh my goodness, that is a lot of orcs. Oh boy. This is going to be a good one. We'll go back to the main fight between Rune and Mortar. There actually hasn't been any infantry fighting yet, just the skirmish phase is beginning. You can see one unit of the Innos Rim had the misfortune to be stuck outside while all the others retreated. So you can see they're taking a bad charge from those Olag High, and now getting rear charge from the Mountain Numenor and Shield Guard, and there are some more Olag High coming from behind. So definitely not looking too good for the Easterlings and Men of the North, I guess you could say. But again, it's not a bad idea. It wouldn't have been a bad idea if he kept all three of his units of cavalry right here, because he might have been able to do some damage. But because he just accidentally left this one unit out here, you can see it's just getting totally taken out. It's actually routing now, and you can see a lot more of the Mortar attackers coming over here to reform. Surprisingly, none of them have actually attacked Khand. Maybe there was a rule about that. I don't actually know. So maybe there's just a rule that no one can attack Khand, and Khand can't attack them for a certain amount of time. I don't know. If Alisson is watching this, I'm sure he'll put it down in the comments if that was the case. You can see that the Orc Archers of Tundra's Fox are having a very tough time of it right now against the Narim. But because of the sheer amount of numbers of Orc Archers, it's really not going to matter too much that they lose this few units of Orc Archers. You can actually see there's some Swift Blades and Shield Wall over here trying to give protection to the Gamprim. Halberds might be thinking about fighting, but I don't know. No, they're just going to form up right there. prevent the runic forces from sallying out to silence those archers. But again, all of the units here, with the exception of the runic swiftblades, are AP in melee. So all of these mortar units who are quite heavily armored are going to have a very tough time of it against this runic front line. Rune has some very, very strong infantry and a lot of AP when it comes to melee. Obviously, they don't have the very good archers. I believe the Narim only have like 8 missile damage or something. So definitely not a very good archer unit. One of their few decent archer units is the Kumul Shadowbows. Because they are lightly armored, they can get skirmished out pretty quickly. Uruks might be actually thinking about fighting, backed up by some Uruk halberds and Mornon guard. So we may see the front line clash for the first time. Yes, it looks like that's going to happen. So cool. I think this is going to be a very close battle. There's 5 Mordor armies. Jeez, that is a lot of orcs. I wonder if it's more or less than the goblins of the last video. I'll have to count at the end of the battle. You can see some of these swiftblades have taken a little bit of skirmish fire. Orc archers seem to be firing at the Balkoth Sapphire Blade. No. Maybe at these Kumul Shadowbows, actually. You can see some of the Clan Guard actually took some casualties. Scion Rim and Guildsman back here, along with some Kumul's Chosen, and some Arnoring troops as well. Looks like Arnor is actually sending over a decent amount of reinforcements over that way. Dismounted Dunedain Knights. I think he has like 3 units of dismounted Dunedain Knights, so it's going to be rather difficult for the Mortar armies to break down because they are like 1,254 armies in the multiplayer match, which obviously the cost and price and like unit caps and price increases doesn't matter in scenarios, but they still have the same stats obviously. But again, it's a very reasonably balanced battle, so it should be fine. But yeah, I know they have at least 2 hit points. Really nice attack and defense values. They can really do some work on the front line, especially in choke points like this where they're relatively low numbers. Won't really matter that much. I mean, they still have 123 men in the unit, so they really aren't that low in numbers for a pretty high tier unit. Oh, you can actually see that the infantry fight has now begun. Unfortunately, because the Flagrim were a little bit too far up, they're not really getting any support from the Gamprim just yet, but because the Flagrim are very good in melee and are AP, they will be able to take out a lot of these Uruks before they are beaten down, and then these Uruks are just going to have to pretty much throw themselves right at these pikemen. So definitely not a good situation for Mortar right now, but again, they have so many orcs, it should be relatively fine for them. Yes, it looks like this Kondish army must be like a reinforcement army or something, because no one's attacking it, and they haven't attacked anything yet, so... Archer fire, the Narim firing down. Looks like they're getting actually an unfortunate amount of friendly fire, but I believe they're trying to target those Orc Maulers, which isn't a bad idea because they are, of course, shock infantry, which means they're going to take some pretty heavy losses from the skirmishers. But it's really not a very expensive unit, so I don't know if I would waste my time firing at them. A lot of these Orc Archers have been skirmished down, but not far behind them you can see some Uruk Archers and some Mortar Mornon bows, which are both much better than the Orc Archers, especially the Mortar Mornon bows. I believe they have like 11 attack, which is actually very high for a Orc Archer unit. All around though, it's just pretty much reforming by the Mortar armies from behind. You can see Bobo he's moving forward some of his stuff, but a lot of he's actually leaving behind. Froggy is pretty much marching forward his entire army. We'll look over here at Master Blaster and Engsfits to see what they're doing. Looks like they're just marching. Oh my. That was a little bit full of AIDS. But anyway, yeah, Master Blaster is just marching forward all of his troops. Gonna take a while to get there, but still, that's to be expected when you have to march to this huge deserty canyon. I don't know what's going on with the skins of these Mounted Temple Inquisitors. They don't usually look like that. I don't think they look like that most of the time, but we'll see. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Something kind of odd is going on with the texture there. Anyway, you can see right here the Arnorian front line has been pretty much set up for now. He's got some Dunedain Wardens, Pikemen, Arnor Pikemen, and some Arnor Men-at-Arms, and there's some Rangers and Heavy Archers back here to give the missile support, as well as the Catapult, which in this choke point is going to be very, very key to possibly winning the day. If you can get some nice Catapult shots off, that's going to do a great deal of damage. Oh, it gets so laggy every time I go over here to see what's going on with Rune. Oh my goodness. You can see a huge push right here by the Orc Raiders and Mornon Guard. I assume just doing the shield wall push thing, pushing straight through those poor Gamprim, who are really struggling, unfortunately, because of their broken formation. Alisson is trying to plug that gap, or plug that hole with the Swift Blades, but because they're so low tier, they're really not going to be able to do much. You can also see that there's some Olaghai about to be charged into the fray, which is going to cause even more disruption within the runic lines. And a lot of these Flagrim have been taken out, unfortunately. But they did do decently before they were taken out. So yeah, you can see that Alisson is bringing forward some Scion Ram, as well as some Dragon Knights maybe to try to get a charge off, but because it's kind of uphill, he's not going to really be able to do that too well. Some Arnorian Heavy Archers over here to help out as well. So far, Rune seems to be struggling quite heavily right now, mostly just because of this huge push that Tendra's Fox is able to pull off with his Mornon Guard, but we'll see how it goes. The Scion Rim will definitely provide some support here. It looks like they're going to a shield wall, but if Mortar is able to like maybe push through these little thin parts of the bulge in the line right here, this buckle, it's going to cause some real havoc within the runic backlines, because it means they'll be able to bring all the units to wrap around all these Gamprim and stuff. Here. Looks like a lot of units got shot. No, never mind. It looked like they had been skirmished down for some reason. But anyway, Froggy, Bobo, 16k, with a bunch of their units pushing forward now. I would get a little closer to the battle, like this maybe, but it's a little bit laggy. So maybe we'll stay at a safe distance like this or something. At least until more of the troops have been taken out. Olaghai marching around now. Looks like they are not going to actually be committed quite yet. Scion Rim actually pushing back against this buckle in the line here, trying to force these Urks and Raiders back to where they belong, and also just help out his lines. You can see right here these Gamprim are struggling rather heavily. I don't know if they're not in guard mode. No, they look like they're in guard mode. So they should be fine. Orc Archers trying to get up in this little bit of a hill to probably fire down into these low Gamprim, who are of course unshielded and will take horrendous casualties. Even with pretty low tier archers. Oh, those Camille Shadow Bows taking a lot of casualties, but from these Mortar bows, you can see archers rushing up this hill right now along with some Orc fodder. Orc Halberds, Olaghai just kind of sitting around, just waiting, biding their time. Again, this is just a really massive choke point battle, but it's still cool. It's still cool. Should be things should spice up pretty quickly once Khan moves forward, or is attacked anyway. But we'll see when that happens. And over here, it looks like the first troops of Engsfitz and Master Blaster are about to engage with the Arnorian front line. Unsurprisingly, it's Orc fodder and archers that are marching forward first. The Shadow Bows, or Shadow Guard, sorry, should do reasonably well against the Arnor Pikemen. However, because there are some shielded units in here, they're not going to take nearly as many casualties. The Arnor Pikemen won't take nearly as many casualties as if they were just sitting here by themselves. Oh, there's also some Arnor Gate Guards here as well. Those guys are very, very good. Incredibly hard to break down. There's a lot of pike. I would not want to charge into this phalanx of pikes, because even if you were somehow able to get past the pikes, you'd go straight into the arms of these Arnor Men-at-Arms and Dunedain Wardens. I mean, both the Dunedain Wardens and Arnor Men-at-Arms are not great, but still, because of their shorter ranged weapons than the pikemen, they should do reasonably well. Well, close quarters. That close quarters. See that there's some Arnor Pikemen as well as some Arthedain Men-at-Arms marching forward now. Plus some Claim Guard trying to prevent, again, another push, looks like by Mortar. There's actually some Narim that have been committed here who I assume are out of ammo. These Gamprim seem to be struggling to stay in formation, which is going to cost them some lives. But over here you can see where the Gamprim are able to have a very good formation. They've just taken out a ton of these Urks right here. Those front line of Flagrim are pretty much all but dead. Rather unfortunate, but again, it's not really a defensive unit, so they're going to get a lot of kills and then pretty much die. So that's unsurprising. Some more units being pushed in now, some Mortar, Mortar Maulers, Orc Fodder, and some Numenor and Shield Guard. The Shield Guard of Bobo's 16k, if he puts them in Shield Wall, which it seems like they are, and just pushes them through these formations of Gamprim, is going to bode very, very ill for the defenders. I got a map of Middle Earth phone case for my phone. That doesn't really apply to this, but that just shows how much of a nerd I am. But anyway, you can see just the massive amount of troops here. Right here, the Gamprim are starting to get broken down. The constant pressure that's being applied by these Urks is really starting to take its toll. I mean, the Urks of Boba 16k and Tundra's Fox are starting to struggle a little bit in return, mostly just because of the reach of these Gamprim, but eventually they will be able to push through these relatively thin lines of Gamprim. There's some Arthur men-at-arms on our pikemen rushing forward to the front line, probably trying to stop the shield wall push of these Numenor and Shield Guard, who aren't as good at shield wall pushing as something like the Guardians of Karn Doom, but they still will be able to do it pretty effectively. You can see already they're starting to make their presence felt, trying to push straight through this Gamprim. But there are some Arthur-Dane men-at-arms, Clan Guard who are AP, and some Arno pikemen over here to try to stop that. Oh boy, those shield wall pushes, man, they are just absolutely horrendous. Pretty much one of the only good ways to deal with those are playing the dwarves, who pretty much can't get pushed by anything, or having a catapult and javelins, which they do have javelins, but they're definitely not going to use them right away because there are some way higher tier units that they would probably like to use those on before. You can see right now that Bobo 16k is trying to take advantage of the few numbers of Gamprim right here, and is just going to push straight through them with the Olag High, which is going to force the defenders here to have to push up a lot of stuff right away. And you can see that this is not the only point by any means that is starting to struggle quite heavily. You can see right here, there's pretty much no defending units. The Narim are trying to reform, probably to push over there. There's the second unit of Cyanrim being pushed forward, and then not far behind them are some dismounted Dunedain Knights, but I don't know if they'll be able to get here in time. You can see that the Cyanrim over here are actually trying to push through and leave the other units here to just kind of hold it right there, because they're trying to stop these Olag High and Urks from just pushing straight through the rest of these Gamprim, who are falling really, really quickly. Now that the shield wall push has pretty much been nullified, you can see that Rune is trying. Well, kind of, Rune and Arnor are kind of starting to retake the fight here, but not very easily by any means. Cyanrim trying to take out those Olag High, who have already lost one man. Looks like over here we might be just in time to see. No, I'm gonna say we might be just in time to see the front line be engaged between Arnor and Mortar on this side, but no. Angsfits and Master Blaster are just instead opting to skirmish. First, try to skirmish down their enemy, which is of course a very good idea. Looks like they're trying to target the pikemen and gate guards, but because of the Armor Men-at-Arms and Dunedain Wardens here, they're not going to get too many kills. Mostly just going to be a waste of it, but still. Some Arnorian heavy archers there waiting for some better targets to shoot down. Knights of Numenor sitting here as well. I would maybe consider just charging down those Orc Fodder, because Orc Fodder will get absolutely just wafted by the Knights of Numenor from a front charge. But still, we'll see what happens. Over here, where most of the defense is starting to crumble. Actually, it looks like Rune and Arnor are starting to kind of retake the fight in some places, but I mean, like right here, they've only got some Narim really defending against this huge horde of Mordor, Maulers, and Urks. So you can see why Alisson is committing his last unit of Cyanrim right there. There's also some Urk halberds from Tundra's Fox being brought over. So far, it's been a very nice battle. Very cool. Dismounted Dunedain Knights will definitely provide some very good support over here. They're not spearmen, which means they'll be able to get a lot more kills than something like the Sauron, but they still have hit points and very nice defensive values because of their shield and stuff, and heavy armor, so they're going to be able to take out a lot of units before going down. So you can see the Camille's Dragon Knights trying to charge down those trolls, succeeding in taking down a few, but looks like some of the Dragon Knights are actually going to get taken down in return. Alison's probably going to have to try to think of a different way of taking out those trolls, because you can see he actually has lost a few of his Dragon Knights right away from doing that. But we'll see. He doesn't really have that many. He really does not have that much infantry left, to be honest with you. I think the only thing he has left right now is his guildsmen, and then his Camille's chosen, as well as some crossbows and javelins. But I'm assuming that he's waiting to save those for later. You can see that the Arnorian heavy archers that Arcturus brought up to give some support to his ally are starting to get skirmished down by the Mortar bows. But we'll see how they do. These orc archers that have been sitting here for quite some time now have been firing, probably wreaking quite a lot of havoc amidst the Runic and Arnorian forces. But again, because they're orc archers and there's only 74 of them, they're not going to do a huge amount of damage unless they're shooting some pretty soft targets from behind. You can see it's like another push being brought about now by some Uruks. They don't have shield wall, I don't think, but just because of the sheer amount of numbers in their unit, they will be able to push somewhat effectively. Olaghai is still just running around now, just causing havoc amongst these back lines. A lot of Uruks have been skirmished down by the defending forces over here. See what's going on. I don't actually know why the mounted Temple Inquisitors look like that. There's something weird with the texture going on there, because they generally look just like the normal Inquisitors in terms of texture and stuff. Unfortunately, it looks like some of that unit died right here upon their own stakes, which is rather unfortunate. Take a look over here now. Apologies again for the lag, but there's really not much I can do about it. Again, front line has not been engaged yet. Still just more skirmishing. Looks like the Mortar bows and Shadowguard have taken some fairly light casualties. There are some Uruks here to prevent too many of the archers from getting shot down because of their shields. Let's take a look at what's going on over here with Rune again. Well, the Rune and armor, I should say. You can see the crossbows getting targeted right away. That's because they, being cheap being crossbows, they can obviously deal a great amount of damage. But because they're relatively cheap, they can get skirmished down very, very quickly, as you can see. They're getting targeted down right away, which is a good move. But unfortunately, because they've got a rather uphill angle, they're really not going to be able to do very much damage with their crossbows, I don't think. But we'll see. What's left of these Camille Shadow bows, sorry, I should say. I always want to say Shadow Guard, but they're Shadow bows. Are being committed to the front line here. Again, on this left flank, it is looking relatively grim. But in the middle, the Scion Rim are still holding strong with the Gamp Rim. Over here, we've still got some dismounted Dunedain Knights who have not taken a single casualty, along with some Gamp Rim and some Arno Pikemen, as well as some Arthur Men at arms. I don't know why it doesn't. It's not laggy. It's actually not that super laggy on that one area for some reason. Yeah, these Olaghai of Bobo are really proving to be a nuisance for Alisson and Arcturus, but we'll see how they deal with him. Eventually, they are going to get taken down. They've already lost half of the unit, but they have been doing a great deal of damage. You can now see the Innos Rim are actually trying to get a charge off. See if they kill any. Doesn't look like it. On the charging way. Oh my gosh, that poor man. Poor man just got flung off his horse. Scion Rim still holding strong in shield wall. They might be AP. I think they might. I don't actually remember. Oh, the one Arthedain Man at arms back there just taking out that Uruk. Jeez, he's probably gonna get stunlocked pretty soon though, just because he's completely surrounded by enemies with no friends around him, really. Dismounted Dunedain Knights really holding their own here, but again, it's unsurprising. Very elite, very tough unit. Most of the shield guard have taken a lot of casualties now. This unit's down to 49, the other one's down to 63. Yeah. Trolls down to 5 now. Now it looks like the Kumul's Dragon Knights are going to take another go at charging them. Crossbowmen, whoa, took a lot of casualties already. That's definitely not good. Looks like the Olaghai might actually be going after these Arnorian heavy archers, but they're going to get charged by the Dragon Knights and Asrin. Oh no, they're actually going after crossbows. Ooh, this troll's just seemingly oblivious to that charge right there. Nope, one got taken out. Okay, cool. One did end up actually getting slain. There's 4 left now. Again, I don't think the fight has begun in full over here in terms of the infantry. Nope, but it looks like it might be close to ish to starting. A lot of the Mortar archers have been skirmished down, especially the Shadow Guard. Mortar Mornon bows are still healthy, and there's more of the Mortar Mornon bows behind them. Ooh, Catapult actually got a nice hit there on what is that? No, that's Mortar Mornon halberds, I think. So the Catapult already proving very, very efficient in these choke point battles, but oh my gosh. All the forces of Master Blaster who hasn't even fought at all yet are just so numerous. We'll take another look back over here. Looks like the trolls are finally going to be, well, some of the trolls are finally going to get cut down by the Knowles Dragon Knights and Asrin, but you can see that the effectiveness against cavalry that the Olaghai have is really starting to show. A lot of those Dragon Knights going down. Only 48 of those clan crossbows left. Dragon Jet Fieldsmen look like they're coming up to help take out the trolls. Over here, it's kind of difficult to see because like the Arnor troops kind of mingle with the shield guards, so it's kind of hard to tell if how the defense is going over here. But still, it looks like it's just going pretty evenly. Mortar is again pushing right here, this time through the Scion Rim, who are finally starting to get taken out slowly after holding for so long, after holding for such a long time. But we'll see if they're able to retake control of the situation here. In terms of percentages, it is still very close, 28 to 25%. And so that's one of the Mortal armies has lost half of their men, and I believe that Rune has also lost half of their men. Unfortunately, there's not much I can actually say in terms of like what's going on in battle, because it's pretty obvious to see right now, but I'll do my best, so I do apologize for that. But again, all choke pointy battles like this are kind of the same. That's partially some of the reason why I don't usually do massive choke point battles for my channel. Sieges can tend to get a little long too at times, especially if it's Minas Tirith or something like that. But still, they're still fun to see and they're cool to watch. Ooh, big push right there by the Mornon Guard. Going in shield wall and just pushing straight through those poor Scion Rim, who are really having a tough time as of now. You can see there's one pocket where they're still doing relatively well, but all these other Scion Rim are just getting like stun locked to death, which is very unfortunate. Oh, and I actually don't think I ever mentioned that I actually am one of the testers that helps to test out the .95 patch. So I may actually be uploading some videos of that soon. We'll see. I'll have to definitely make sure I have permission to do so. But if I am allowed to do so, I will definitely upload videos of it. That should be very fun. I can just say right now that it's very, very fun. I'm sure you guys are just gonna be so psyched for .95, especially if you have seen the videos that both UMAT Commander and J Monster have done. Those are all those battles, man. .95 is just really, really fun. Yeah, there's the standard template for videos. Trolls, Mortar's chosen. Again, cavalry is not going to be huge. thing in this battle, at least until Khand is able to move, when they're able to cycle charge the mortar attackers from behind and stuff. But we'll see. Because I'm assuming that all of the attackers knew that Khand would eventually be able to come out. Maybe there is a rule against some of these things, but they really haven't set up any... Oh, okay, actually, speaking of it, they have really prepared no defense in the event that Khand is coming, which you can see they're doing so right now. The Wind Riders of Khand, being the swiftest, are going to be the first into the battle, charging right into these, going to charge right into those shield guards from behind, as well as into the halberds, it looks like. There's a large portion of troops right here by Froggy, but most of all of the troops are focused right here on this main fight against Rune and Arnor. And you can see that Alysanne is actually being forced right now to commit some Dragon Knights and Innas Rim right here to again try to stop this bold right here in the line, but we'll see how it goes. We'll watch now this hopefully brutal charge right here by the Wind Riders of Khand. Shield Guard were able to turn around in time, and since they're in shield wall, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. So hopefully those Wind Riders will get out of there before they take too many casualties. But over here, the halberds did take quite a number of casualties there. Oh, yeah. Those Wind Riders of Khand are just getting cut down right now by those Numenorian Shield Guard, who didn't take a single casualty, whereas these Wind Riders of Khand, ooh, they took quite a lot of casualties actually. Looks like about 20. So Goddess Nimhain really needs to be careful with these guys because he does not want to lose them because of just how effective they really can be. Over here you can see some Brotherhood of the Bow shooting down some of the Numenorian Shadow Guard, but they're about to get recharged by them in return. Over here we've got some Mountain Temple Inquisitors charging into the forest. Looks like they're trying to go after these Nomadic Warriors, who, if charged in the side, are going to take horrendous casualties. I mean, being a melee cavalry unit, the Temple Inquisitors don't have as great of a charge, but still it's going to do a lot of damage, especially because those Inquisitors are a very high tier unit. Oh, poor Nomadic Warriors lost like 60, 70 men off that one charge. There's some more Nomadic Warriors. Yeah, so right now Khand is just trying to march forward as quickly as possible to try to help out the his Runic and Arnorian allies, who are really starting to struggle over here in the main fight. But you can see how Mortar has paid dearly, very, very dearly for pushing this hard. A lot of their numbers have been taken out. But yeah, so Khand is just going to try to wrap around right here to try to help out their allies, but there's some Mountain Trolls charging, there's some Nurad Cataphracts taking out those Mountain Shield Guard, and there's still a lot of units over here of Mortar from Froggy. Not a ton, but still, it should be, it should prove quite hard for Goddess Nimhain to take out. There's also some Melkor's Chosen, and then back here we've got some more stuff like the Sauron's Will and some lesser Balrogs. But again, if Khand is able to effectively sandwich all these units, the defenders may have enough to take out Master Blaster and Angsfits, but we'll just see. It just really depends on how well Goddess Nimhain plays with his cavalry and his infantry. You can see those Temple Inquisitors, man, they're really strong. Took out a lot of those cataphracts, but still. Because Mortar has suffered very grievously right here. Oh, a really good charge right here by the Brotherhood of the Lance, going straight into those halberds who were in formation, but that just proves how strong the Brotherhood of the Lance actually are. Did take a few losses, it looks like, maybe, but that might actually just be the Brotherhood, or that may be the Dragon Knights. Ooh, but Trolls narrowly missing the opportunity to take out some of those Brotherhood of the Lance there. There's some Nurad Footmen here fighting against Trolls, as well as some Nomadic Warriors. There's some Nurad Assassins, as well as some Variag Bowmen. Not firing quite yet. I would probably just start firing as quickly as possible, like at these Mortar bows, Orc Archers, and especially I would try to focus a lot of my archer fire right here, mostly just because Rune is really starting to struggle, as you can see, and because all these units are turned around to the arrows would be firing straight into the backs of those units right there, so that would take a lot of casualties, or so those units would take a lot of casualties to be sure. So, but we'll see if Goddess Nimhain capitalizes on that. Looks like for the most part those Wind Riders of Khand were just absolutely shredded. not given enough support, and they were just cut down really quickly. Melkor's Chosen are going to be very difficult for the Goddess Nimheim to take out. I mean, he does actually have a lot of horse archers, especially the Brother to the Bow will prove very effective at taking out the Melkor's Chosen, as well as all the other cavalry units that Mortar has on the field at the moment. He's got some Nerniag horse archers, Brotherhood of the Lance charging. Oh, it might charge right into those stakes. I mean, it's from the side, so I don't know if it'll take out. I don't know if it'll actually take any of it out, but we'll see. Trying to charge those trolls, not a very wise thing to do. I mean, because they are considered technically heavy infantry, as you can see, they are going to take some losses, but most just because of the sheer amount of hit points and just defensive values that the trolls have. Not to mention the bonus against cavalry. The trolls will be pretty effective at taking out cavalry. As even things like Brotherhood of the Lance, Pneumatic Warriors trying to take out those trolls. Red Footmen still fighting hard. Probably Goddess Nimheim is going to want to commit these footmen right away, though, to start putting some pressure on the Mortar infantry, just to pretty much try to fight out on all the fronts. The Dragon Knights trying to hold back the flow of Mortar forces here. There's some Arnorian heavy archers committed to melee, but for the most part, a lot of these Mortar units have been taken out, so it's going to be interesting to see if Rune can hold on to this choke point long enough for Khan to really start getting most of their army out here and attacking Mortar from behind. And over here, it looks like Master Blaster and Engsfits have begun the fight. Yes, they have, in fact. The pikemen and gate guards, as you can see, are holding very strongly right here. There's also some dismounted Doomday Knights here. I don't know about committing them right away, but again, that actually is a smart move, because you can see Engsfits is trying to do the same thing that Froggy and Bobo did over on that side, trying to push through these pike wall formations with the Mornon Guard and Shield Wall. Dunedain Rangers and Arnorian Heavy Archers all firing down here as well. There's some Olag High marching forward. Those guys are going to be very disruptive. Doesn't look like the catapult has fired very much more than what we've seen. Actually took out 2 trolls. Master Blaster is still very, very healthy, as well as Engsfits, actually. Engsfits has a lot of stuff left. But mainly the Mortar armies that have taken the most casualties are definitely over here. Oh my gosh, that's just so many units. So many dead orcs and men of Rune and women of the east and north. The Red Footmen kind of starting to get surrounded now by these orc archers and Mortar bows, but because they do have very nice stats, they should be able to hold on reasonably well there. Goddess Nimheim is starting to open fire with these archers now, which is definitely very good. A lot of the wind riders there. Some more Red Footmen going around. A lot of the Brotherhood of the Lance have been taken out. You can see that's actually the general unit. If he's not careful, he could lose his general, which Khan does not have very good morale. So if he does lose his general, it's going to be very, very troublesome for him. All across the board, though, he's just pretty much engaging Mortar from behind. You can see that these Refrex went through behind these stakes, which looks like they're taking casualties from that, trying to charge into these Mortar Eric's, but they're also getting shot at the same time, so they're going to have a very tough time with it. We definitely not want to be one of those Cataphracts. I really think Alisan should commit his Driving Death Guildsman and his Most Chosen over here if he wants to hold, because I mean you can see already that these Mornon Guard are pushing through this center port right here, which is going to mean his units right here that are actually still barely holding on are going to get outflanked. But we'll see what he does. We'll see what happens. You can see he's also got some Kimo's Dragon Knights still back there. Ooh, catapult firing over there from Arno. We'll see if it hit anything. Oh, it's kind of hard to like move the camera around because of all the walls and stuff. Yeah, actually looks like there was a pretty good hit right there on the Mornon Heavy Maulers. 15 Shadow Guard trying to do what they can. Another Arnorian army now, or no, another Mordor army. Sorry, down to half men. Yes, here are some troll slayers. Now these guys are AP in both melee and I believe they also have AP missiles. So they're going to do a great deal of damage right here. And hopefully these guys can live up to their name and take out these Olag here that are running around in the back lines. But we'll see what happens. Looks like right now they're actually just trying to focus fire, like the Maulers or something. It looks like these dismounted Dunedain Knights looks like they're actually trying to go after the trolls. Ooh, oh no though. These Olag look like they might be wanting to go after the catapult of Arcturus, so we'll see if Arcturus is able to prevent this in time or not. I mean, he does have some Knights of Intermouse here, but we'll see what happens. Troll Slayer is just sitting here. I would consider doing a volley or firing a volley at the Olag, because that would be very devastating. We'll see if this hits. Took out a few of those heavy maulers, but not a whole lot. Another Mortar army now down to only half men in the unit. Ooh, looks like a lot of the catapult crew got skirmished down. Oh no, if Arcturus isn't careful, he could lose his whole catapult crew right here. Because 6 trolls probably would be enough to take out the 17 crew members of this catapult. I am kind of at a loss as to why he didn't commit his Knights of Innuminos here against the trolls. I mean, again, trolls are very good at taking out cavalry, but still, he had a perfect opportunity to downhill charge them. He also could be firing his Dunedain troll stars, but he is not, so we'll see. Okay, yeah, he is actually going to use his Knights of Innuminos here to charge them, so that's good. And he's going to run away his catapult crew, which is of course very wise. See if these Knights of Innuminos are able to take out some trolls. Yep, there goes one. Anyway, look over here now and see how the push, see how Mortar's push is going. Ooh, yeah, it's proving to be very, very devastating. Again, I believe this was a kind of a mistake by Alison not to commit his guildsmen and his what's the Camille's Chosen over here, because now his Gamprim right here that are actually holding on relatively strongly, backed up by the Armor Pikemen and dismounted Dunedain Knights, are just going to get surrounded and cut down. But they should be able to do okay, I guess, for at least for a while before they're taken out. Over here, Khand, looks like they're struggling pretty heavily, and now because and now that Mortar doesn't have to worry that much about Rune over here, Bobo, 16k, Tundra's Fox, and Froggy are going to be able to just pretty much focus all of their attention out here to picking off all of these Khandish units and just surrounding and taking them out. You can see that Goddess Nimhain has actually had to commit some Brotherhood of the Axe as well as his Brotherhood of the Sword, also with some Variag Warriors, Mortar equipment, and some Assassins as well. I actually haven't seen the Neurat Assassins fight all that often. I don't really know how good they are, but we'll see. There's some Nomadic Warriors over here shaken, some Nomadic Warriors over here just running around. There's also still a decent amount of Khandish Cavalry. There's only 4 Brotherhood of the Lance left. Looks like most of the cavalry is trying to go over here and charge these units. However, the Mortal Chosen, you can see, have already rebuffed 1 cavalry charge head on, so hopefully Goddess Nimhain does not try to do that again. He's actually pushing his units through these stakes here, backwards, so they don't get spiked. And he's going to go charge over here to try to help out these Runic and Arnor forces. But unfortunately, because Rune and Arnor were not able to hold onto that choke point there, it's going to force Arnor to pretty much pull back, well, I assume pull back a lot of units either to this hill or push more units forward up to here, because if he does not do either of those things, then all of these units right here are going to get killed from behind, which is not good because he's got a lot of units here that would be able to hold on for a very long time otherwise. You can see that Mortar is kind of reforming the lines here. These Kumbo's Dragon Knights are trying to slow the assault of Mortar, but not going to be too effective at it, especially because those trolls are there. Gamprim getting cut down pretty quickly, some of the pikemen, and there are 54 dismounted Dunedain Knights still fighting to the very end. Variag Bowman firing Looks like the Brotherhood units, the Brotherhood infantry units are doing a very good job of taking out the infantry right here. But over on this side you can see that those Narrowhead Cataphracts are just getting cut down by the Orc Raiders as well as the Temple Guard. There's also some Pneumatic Warriors over here who are probably going to get charged from behind by these Orc Raiders and Temple Guard, but we'll see. There also maybe there's a rule about these Lesser Balrogs in Sauron's Will or something, because they haven't been committed yet either. Or they could just be sitting here to prevent Khand from running any units all the way back around here to attack Master Blaster and Inkspits from behind. Looks like the Catapult crew is maybe been completely taken out. That's going to be very, very unfortunate, because that catapult could have done so much damage. Okay, no, he's still got 10 men, so he could still man at least a couple of catapults. I think it takes like 3 or 4 per catapult, so if it's 3, he could man all 3. So if it's 3 men per catapult, I mean, he could man all those catapults. Dude named Troll Slayer is starting to take a little bit of skirmish fire now. Unsurprising, because they are a ranger unit and don't have very much defense. Well, armor, really, I should say. I think their defense stats are actually pretty good. It's more just they don't have very much armor. All the Arnorian units are still holding very strongly here, but there are just so many Mortar units, man. So many. Try to speed up a little bit to prevent this battle from going on super, super long. Variag cavalry is still just trying to do their best and prevent the Mortar forces from attacking Arnor from behind. That charge right there is going to be pretty good, pretty effective against those Maulers, but he does need to get them out of there because the two-handed Maulers can take out cavalry pretty quickly. Uryx, Olaghai, just all of the Mortar units just pretty much rushing around here. But you can see, even though Rune has been pretty much completely taken out, man, boy did they make Mortar pay for it. Mortar lost just so many units here in turn, while taking out Rune. Khand is kind of starting to struggle now. You can see he's got some Nurad footmen pushing through now to these Urk archers as well as his Brotherhood units. But because Khand just doesn't really have enough actual infantry, and because he kind of didn't use his cavalry that well, he is going to start struggling pretty quickly here. Yeah, there's those. Ooh, Temple Guard. Not as good as the Inquisitors in melee, but still very, very deadly in melee. Actually, not as light as I thought it would be in 1 times speed, so we'll keep it at that for now. Oh, there goes the flanking from those Variag bowmen killed one of the Mortar generals, and wow, okay, that's not going to be a huge issue, but still, it's going to be something. Numenor and Shadowguard now going to outflank the flankers. Variag bowmen, though, not at all bad archer or infantry unit. They have a shield. They do have a shield that they pull out in melee. They may even actually have a small shield bonus when they're firing arrows. I haven't played Khand all that much, but still. Very good unit nonetheless. Very cost effective. Brotherhood of the Sword now starting to drop. Looks like the Brotherhood of the Axe is over here. Still relatively healthy. Just cutting down these Orc Raiders left and right. The Brotherhood of the Axe is also being backed up by some more Nurad footmen. There's some Shield Guard running around to flank these Brotherhood of the Axe. Nurad Assassins kind of over here. The battle line that Khand is kind of set up is just all over the place. It's just like little pockets of fighting everywhere, which is going to leave a lot of units open to all kinds of flanking. Mortal Chosen also over here trying to take out these Variag bowmen. Whoa! Trying to push straight through those bowmen right there, actually. Cataphracts. Oh, I was going to say, if only that Cataphract was was not routing, he might have been able to get a charge off on those 2 remaining Melkor's Chosen of Lobo 16k, one of which is actually the General of Lobo 16k, so. Oof, Temple Inquisitors. Oof, those guys are super deadly. Variag bowmen pretty much getting surrounded and taken down. Yeah, unfortunately, it does not seem like Khan was able to do enough. Their infantry did okay, but because his cavalry wasn't used that effectively, it just is meaning pretty much utter destruction for most of his infantry. Just they're getting outflanked like nads, just getting cut down left and right. Over here, surprisingly, because Mortar has retreated most of their units further down the canyon, the dismounted Dunedain Knights, Arnor Pikemen, and Grand Brim are actually still alive and fighting. Surprisingly, only 9 dismounted Dunedain Knights left. There's actually still a surprising amount of pikemen left. Take a look at what's going on over here. Looks like Mortar has not yet begun the attack quite yet. Just gonna get charged by those Kumul's Dragon Knights, looks like, for now. And now Knights of oh boy. Those Knights of Anuminas, man. Incredibly strong. But over here it looks like, ooh yeah, Mortar has made some major headway. Actually forced Alisan to commit his Dragon's Wrath guildsmen. Maybe some Kumul's Chosen? Yeah, and his Kumul's Chosen as well. Over here, it looks like Arnor is trying to push back. But I don't... Doesn't seem to me like the defenders are going to be able to pull this off, unfortunately. Well, it's only unfortunate if you want the defenders to win, I guess. Still relatively close, though, within 9%. Oh, boy. The Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen are now having to come over here to try to stop this flank by Spitz's Northern Shield Guard. What's left of these Troll Slayers are being committed. Those guys are going to do very good melee. I think they have hit points, yeah, 2 hit points or something with two-handed axes, so they are AP in melee. Catapult still firing, not getting a great amount of hits, but still. Ooh, if he's not careful, he's going to hit his own dismounted Dunedain Knights and Arcane their arms, though. So yeah, so far, very close battle. I'm hoping that Arcturus will use his Knights of Anuminas over here to just kind of charge all these kind of leftover mortar units, because that's going to do a lot of damage. Kumul's Dragon Knights fighting to the bitter end, getting chased down by some Maulers and Olag High. Uruks marching forward, and over here it looks like the last of the pikemen and the Emperor are slowly getting taken out, actually wavering now. Take a look at over here. We'll take a look at what's going over here with Khan. Khan, surprisingly, to Minway has actually kind of turned around this fight right here. But well, no, not really. There's still the Shield Guard and Shadow Guard. Yeah, Mortar. Khan has no chance, especially because there's all of Froggy's elites basically are marching forward. Well, the Orc Archers aren't elite, but the Bodyguard, some Inquisitors, and some as well are. Also, you can see the Balrogs of Bobo marching forward, as well as 2 more units of Sauron's Will. Definitely does not look very good for the defenders, but oh my gosh, man. Look how epic this battle has been so far. I mean, it's just been totally insane. Huge amount of dead. Looks very good in my opinion for the thumbnail of this video. Rear charge right now by the Mortar, or from the Mortar going on Uruks onto the Brotherhood of the Axe. Brotherhood of the Axe have been fighting hard the whole time. They definitely have a lot of kills. Lesser Balrogs just getting ready to fight, and the rest of the Mortar units coming over here to probably begin the assault on the last of Arnor's troops over here. Those poor 11 Uruks just getting run down by the what's left of the Dragon Knights. General of Ruin is actually still alive, surprisingly. I thought those Uruks would be completely dead, but no, there's still 9 left. We only lost 2 people. Knights of Anuminas just sitting here. Something like that, unit of Knights of Anuminas. The Dunedain Bodyguard still alive. There's also, actually another unit of dismounted Dunedain Knights sitting there. So we'll see how this goes. And then over here, the Arnorian player is still holding on relatively strong. He's still, well, he has some allied support in terms of the Camille's Chosen. You can see that, well, and Dragons with Guildsmith. You can see that just like any other choke point, Mortar has paid quite dearly for any gains they have made over here in the choke point. I think pretty positive that the Mortar armies will end up winning this, but we'll see. Temple Guard actually seem to be taking a lot of casualties. Probably, I think they're getting targeted. There goes the Runic General. But I feel I'm pretty positive that it's the Dunedain bodyguard that are shooting down these Temple Guard, which is of course a very good idea. I hope he continues the firing upon them. Arnor Gate Guard still holding on strong. And over here, looks like Mortar is about to rush all of their units over here to probably take out the last of Arnor. Oh my gosh. It's just so freaking many. This was a choke point of the ages right here. Jeez. The two Melkor's Chosen, one of which is the General of Bobo, is marching forward with his troops, inspiring his men. All of the infantry of Khand has been pretty much taken out. So we'll see how things go, but yeah, definitely so far looks like Mortar is going to win. But again, still it was a very entertaining battle, and I don't know how there's still 9,000 frames left in the battle. So yeah, there goes all of Khand. Khand was just completely wiped from the face of Middle Earth. Yeah, anyway. You can see that Mortar is pretty much just moving in for the final blow now. Sorry, I just thought it was kind of cool to watch those forces marching over all the dead people. Sorry, I'm slightly morbid sometimes. Maybe morbid sometimes. Yeah, dang. Master Blaster and Angstfitz have had just a horrible time of it right here in this choke point against Arnor and what little remains of Rune. If Arnor is able to take out all of these units here, which I think is unlikely, but it might be possible, I don't know, they could possibly just turn around and not have to worry about getting charged from behind, but I still don't think they'd have enough to deal with what's left of the Mortar armies over there. It would just depend really, especially because if they were to push through all these units over here, they would have to take out the Temple Guard, which are both very, very elite. I would consider committing the Temple Guard myself. Well, yeah, Temple Guard and Temple Inquisitors, because they can get a huge amount of kills in melee. Oh, that whole entire unit of Sauron's Will going down. But the Lesser Balrogs and Olaghai were right behind there to charge the units of the Mask Returned, who, being as late as they are, really didn't take as many casualties as you'd maybe think, considering those are Lesser Balrogs. Oh, and now the it's Mask charging the Olaghai, taking out a lot of those Olaghai right there. Actually, it was only, oh my gosh, I think did all of the Olaghai die? There was only 3 left. Oh boy. Oh, but yeah, the Knights of Minas are still having a very tough time of it here. But if they're able to take out these Balrogs, and I believe that was maybe Khan. Anyway, but if Arnor is able to take out the Balrogs and Trolls, they may yet turn this battle around in time. They may yet still be able to turn around the battle, but I don't know, because there's still Sauron's Will, Orc Bodyguard, Mortal Chosen, and mostly just the 2 units of Inquisitors that haven't fought at all, really, that are going to be very difficult for the defenders to take out. Knights of Minas starting to go down now, but they have taken out one Balrog. Just the constant cycle charging starting to take its toll on these Balrog. Ooh, he needs to get these guys out of here though before it's too late. I'm pretty sure that the Dunedain bodyguard took a lot of losses. Something. Oh, Bobo's general is the last one. Come on, Arcturus, you gotta shoot Bobo's general. Shoot him, shoot that general, boy. Sorry, I'm horrible, I know. Anyway, Mountain Temple Inquisitors. There's only 5 of them left, and yeah, there he goes. I'm sure you loved that, Bobo. Anyway, Oh my gosh. Yeah, Arnor still holding on pretty strongly here, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Especially if the Balrogs come around and just charge that whole Arnorian line from behind. That's going to be horrible, horrible for Arnor. I kind of feel like speeding up now because it's pretty much all over, but we'll see. Speed up just a little bit then, just for a bit. It's still actually close, in terms of percentages anyway. It's still within 6%, 7%. So it's not like it was completely one-sided. Not super balanced, but still. Oh, you can see that Arnor is planning to make their last stand up here. Didn't actually know you could go up here. That their last stand would be when you've dismounted Arthedain Knights, dismounted Dunedain Knights, and Dunedain Bodyguard. Not a bad idea, but it's not like they'll be able to win. Over here you can see that the last of Arnor's forces in this choke point are getting charged from behind and just cut down and stuff. Still 79 of those gate guards, man. Those guys are insane in numbering. Mounted Temple and Guard running around, and it looks like most of the Knights of Numenos have been taken out by the Balrogs and the cavalry of Mortar. There go all the Knights of Numenos. Very elite units. Probably didn't really seem like they got that many kills. Your own footman, bodyguard trying to run away in time to not get charged from behind by the Balrogs. Hopefully they'll take advantage of this little choking here, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll just keep it sped up right now because it's pretty much over. What? I don't know why there's music. Go ahead, that off. I bet. Anyway. You can see the Balrogs just running around. Nerd footman routing. And here comes the final assault upon this Condish Valley. I was hoping that those bodyguards would be able to get some volleys off of the lesser Balrogs, but it looks like they won't be able to. And these, even though these dismounted Dunedain Knights are really high tiered, they're gonna get just wrecked from this charge by the Balrogs. Actually, there wasn't even a charge; they just kind of like walked through them. Okay. Hopefully, the Arthedain Knights will be committed here. Yeah, they are. Cool. I'm assuming he just had them up there because he didn't want to get shot. He didn't want them to get shot because being shotgun infantry, these guys are of course very fine. They do have nice armor and stuff, but still, they can get shot now. Sauron's Will, Uryx, Mortar, just pretty much everything. There are still 9 Balrogs. I don't know what the bodyguard is firing at. Maybe they're firing at the Inquisitors or something. Well, maybe if they're in range. Temple Guard here down to 17. Inquisitors just sitting there. Oof, but man, this was a very large-scale battle. It was a very, very enjoyable, good battle indeed. Big thank you to Alisson for sending it to me as well as making it. That's pretty cool. And again, if you guys would like to partake in these kinds of scenarios and stuff, go ahead and check out the link in the description below to the Spawn of Sauron Discord, which is where they do scenarios like this all the time. Very cool scenario, or very cool place. Can I even speak English? Very cool Discord. Balrog's just kind of running around now. Still at 9. I'll just go ahead and speed it up to 6 times now. Now it's going to get really laggy, but it's okay because it's pretty much over by now. But yeah, go ahead and put down in the comments what you guys thought of this battle. I thought it was cool. I'm relatively balanced, relatively well balanced. It's not like 12% is a lot left. I mean, it kind of seems like it, but it's not a whole lot left. Dismounted Arthurian Knights and dismounted Dunedain Knights now getting cut down. Bodyguard being committed in melee. And just the overall push is just not going to be... Just the Arnorians are not going to be able to deal with this overall big push right here. Ooh, the lag. Yeah, still, I thought it was a cool battle. I enjoyed commentating it and watching it. And hopefully you guys will enjoy watching it. Let's see, it's, what, 3:30-ish here on my time right now. Time of this recording, when it's about ended. I'll probably start uploading it in the night and finish for a long time, because why am I internet slow? Temple Guard, cutting down the Arnorian General. And that is going to be it for this battle, pretty much. But still, it was a very cool battle. I liked it a lot. Just one. No, 8 dismounted Dunedain Knights left. I think there was only 1 Arthurian Knight left, and I thought he got pretty sure he got cut down right away. And that's going to be it. So yeah, really cool battle. A huge amount of kills, especially for Arturos getting nearly 8,000 kills. Alisson getting 5,300. Goddess, sorry, getting 3,000 kills. Most kills for the attackers went to Captain Yazla, and then closely followed by Captain Burrs. I don't know which these would actually be, but I'm assuming that Tundra's Fox and maybe Bobo or Froggy got the most kills because they were some of the first ones to actually begin the assault. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of starting to lose my voice. Anyway, Camille's Dragonite getting nearly 500 kills. Nostrum getting 175 and 4. Gamperin doing very well. Swiftblades did okay. Camille's Shadowbows didn't do bad. Clendar did okay. Signrim did pretty decent. Camille's Chosen getting 429. Narim 299, 340. Flame Crossbow's only getting 63. He lost those guys pretty much right away, unfortunately. Guildsman, that's not a unit that I really bring a lot. You should definitely bring him in the next patch, in 0.95, but in this patch I didn't really bring him much. Gamprim 549. What happened to the Flagrim? Oh, 224 and 185. Anyway, so yeah, very cool battle. Big thank you to Alisson again for sending this and making it. So if you guys did enjoy this battle, please comment, like, and subscribe. And if you didn't, just go ahead and tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next video. So farewell wherever you fare, till your Iries receive you at your journey's end.